My name is Elliot. I've been a business consultant for 30 years. I'm going to pull a name out of this box at random. Someone I've met who taught me a life lesson, and today it's going to be the man in the stairwell. Wood. Minimum wage isn't worth dying for. This is a story about when I did my construction sandwich year at university. I actually studied building studies. That's how I got into business advice and strategy. I did a module, thought I really enjoy this strategy stuff, and dumped the building. But for that year when we were on site, they send you away, and I went to a building site, worked with a fairly big company. We were doing up tower blocks, 15-story tower blocks. We were refurbishing them in an area of Birmingham where they left all the residents in situ. They all lived in their apartments, that's all that means. And it was a very interesting year. For example, on the first day we went to work, we went up the scaffolding and put all our tools down and went for lunch. And when we came back, they'd all gone. They'd all been stolen. So it was a really fascinating place. This particular day, we would have this site meeting in the evening about 6 or 7 o'clock. And I would go to that. I was only 22. I was like the student, treated like a fool really by the rest of them. But that was fine. I learned a lot. And we had walkie-talkies. And the walkie-talkie would go off when they needed help or needed some advice. So the walkie-talkie's on the table. We're all sitting around there, 7 or 8 of us, the foreman, the manager, all these people. And suddenly the walkie-talkie comes on and there's someone shouting for help. Help, help, help. I need you. Oh, everybody come now. Right? And so it's night time. It was in the winter. So we all run out of the office thinking, what is going on here? And what had happened is I was on the scaffolding the day before, up on the 13th floor, walking around just checking things in the daytime. And I walked, and there's a man standing there. I'd spoken to him before. He's quite a nice man, seemed it anyway. And he's just standing there. I thought, this is a bit off. This is a bit weird. I'm chatting to him, and he's just kind of nodding at me like that. I thought, this is weird. I said, you can't be out here. And so he goes back in. Thought nothing of it. What happened this night is he has come out of his room on the 13th floor with a knife, started stabbing at the door of a fellow resident, a neighbour. Our poor person checking the building has gone up, found this happening, run off screaming sort of thing, and shouted for help. So there's all chaos happening. We're all running around thinking, somebody call the police, and they did, and dogs came. But the lesson I learned that day is it's a big stairwell on this building, and there's the main entrance. And I can see commotion on the 13th floor. It's all glass. And I'm standing outside the entrance, and the foreman, quite a gnarly guy, picks up this piece of wood, big piece of wood, and he throws it to me, and I catch it. And he says, you hide behind this container. There was a container outside. When he comes out, hit him. Right? And off he ran. And so I was sitting there with this piece of wood behind this container, no one else around, in the pitch black, hearing this commotion, waiting for someone to start running down like zigzag down this stairwell for me to allegedly, or apparently, as part of my employment, whack this guy and see what happens. And I just sat there, and it was an epiphany moment. I thought, I get paid minimum wage for this. I was like, that's literally the first thing that went in my mind. I was like, I'm getting paid £3 an hour for this. And I put down the piece of wood, and I thought, no job is worth this. And I thought, if he comes down, he can go. I'm not going to confront someone with a knife stabbing at someone's door with a piece of wood for £3 an hour. And no one should. As it was, he got arrested and so on, and it all worked out fine. I think he got the help he needed. But it was an interesting evening.